Hey guys, a very good morning. Welcome back to another daily market outlook. So we're starting off with EURUSD. EURUSD here on, let's start on the daily time frame first of all. The daily is overall bearish, as we can clearly see. Swing high over here, swing low over here. So this all was just a pullback before then, of course, that downside continuation. So after that, swing high, swing low, swing high, swing low. And now obviously we've made our pullback in towards the highs and we're now pushing and impulsing further in towards the downside. So at the moment that we broke this low, I was pretty much, let's say convinced that we were going to head down lower. So this then became your supply zone, this buy before the sell-off. We move in, we move back down. So now what has happened is that we formed a new buy before the sell-off. So what I'm now looking for is that if we move back in towards that daily buy before the sell, then we will be looking for downside continuation. So that's what I'm at the moment waiting for, pretty much just to see if we get a pullback in towards that daily area of supply to then further short EURUSD. Overall, at the moment, the 4-hour trend is pretty similar to the daily trend, with this being your swing high, this being your swing low. So we had kind of like an internal uptrend, but now we do definitely have a confirmed internal downtrend. So what do I mean by that? Well, overall, we could see that we were creating a higher high, higher high, higher high, but now we have broken this swing low. So that means a high, lower low, lower high, lower low. So now we've seen a break of structure internally over here. If we pull back in towards, let's say, this supply zone, or if we pull back in towards this supply zone, I will be looking for further downside shorts. So let's wait and see. This is what I'm currently looking for. So yeah, just waiting for that on EURUSD. The 15-minute time frame is looking a little bit good to start potentially pulling up higher once again. If we look at, let's say, the overall just short-term trend, break of structure, then over here a break of structure. So we were bearish in towards the downside. Now we flip bullish. We had kind of like this range, so we're just liquidating the range low over here, hence why you kind of like see an aggressive reaction. At the moment, we could move up higher from here, higher play or higher conviction plays from this demand zone over here. Let's see what happens if we continue to break structure. I will be looking for some further upside back up towards, let's say, that 4-hour area of supply, which I noted down earlier. Going in towards the dollar index pulled back in towards that area of demand, which you noted last Thursday perfectly. Then aggressive reaction back in towards the highs, broke structure again here. Dollar index is a little bit messy, so not going too much into it, but if we just focus on the daily, it does make sense that we're moving up higher. This low was protected, so we kept on moving higher. So yeah, this is now kind of like your daily sell before the buy. So let's look for continuation and see if we get that. Going in towards AUDUSD over here, AUDUSD, very boring pair. If we look at the daily real quick, we can see that we're ranging. Not going to focus too much on that. Again, if we look at the 4-hour and we just draw in our range trading tool, what you can very clearly see is that, again, we sold off from the 75% mark very clearly back in towards the downside. So what could happen is just, again, we see a bullish reaction back in towards the highs. Not going to do too much with this pair at the moment. But if we do kind of see, because we have now taken out this low, so that means that this at the moment is your fractal high. If we get something like this, this is good value to look for a buy. So if we see that 4-hour change of character, look for a potential buy back up in towards the 75% mark, because for the rest, this pair is just ranging already for over a month. Going in towards pound dollar, what are we seeing here? So pound dollar started to sell off more in towards the downside. That's good because overall, this is the swing high, this is swing low. So definitely looking for downside continuation. Going towards the 4-hour. And you can then see we had kind of like this expanding wedge, whatever you want to call it. And we're starting to really break below the lows. So there was a lot of liquidity underneath this low, this low, this low. So it does make a lot of sense that we're now pushing down lower. So just look to further short this pair with the overall momentum. And that is my advice. No financial advice, of course. Now, the next area of interest is this daily imbalance. That is what I'm looking for at around 1.259. Now moving on in towards Kiwi dollar. So Kiwi dollar over here, obviously after liquidating the high over here, we saw a aggressive sell-off in towards the downside, which was nice. Overall, Kiwi dollar is a little bit of a more messy pair, I would say. Overall, if we look at, let's say, 4-hour structure, this was the 4-hour BOS, this was the 4-hour BOS. So this now over here, again, we saw a 4-hour BOS, excuse me, meaning that this is now the swing low. So we should move up higher from here. If we see the 4-hour chalk, then I'll look for long. Otherwise, I do anticipate that we could start moving down lower, back in towards this area of consolidation. So if this low goes, then definitely look for shorts on the momentum. If we break the internal high over here, then look for upside continuation. Last of all, gold. Gold here is, let's say, moving in a slight downtrend at the moment, in regards to the fact that we broke structure over here, and this is kind of like the push down, the pullback, the push down, the pullback. So I don't really like the 4-hour too much. Looking at the daily as well, it's more kind of like a range structure which we have at the moment. So kind of take into consideration that we're at the lower part of the range. As we can see over here, it's like we're stuck inside of this box. So I would, like, despite it kind of looking more bearish than bullish, I would be interested in potential buys, at least back up in towards, let's say, kind of like this extreme buy before the sell zone. Also with this high still being open liquidity wise. So it would, for me, make sense to move up higher. Especially also after breaking this fractal high. So kind of keep an eye out what the 15 does and take that potential long back up higher is my advice. No financial advice. So that's it for today, guys. Thanks so much for tuning in. Wish you all a fantastic day and speak soon.